It's a monumental thing happening here. First time ever. Tomorrow's Ambu. I was inspired by Octavio, so I want to do Octavio. Whenever Zay wants to step up, then we'll do Zay also. Benny's right around the corner. Getting my smoking done before. I'll say I'm like, oh, the TikTok will sense me.
I ain't no future in the front. I'm actually happy I'm not going to Chicas Bonitas.
Good.
But I'm fucking pissed off.
That's right. Okay. We're ready to go live and do a quick intro. Are you already live on Instagram?
Not yet.
You could do a live on the intro. First 15 seconds. So, like this. All right. What's up, Instagram? Instagram, we're live. We're also live on TikTok, and Zoom, or whatever. This is Origin Story. Sultan and myself will go for about 45 minutes. The link is in the bio that you can join if you catch this. Just skip ahead, whatever, if you catch the recording. We're going to go live right now. Origins, IMC Nation.
Yo, what's up?
IMC Nation origins, our personal origins with IMC Nation. What's up, everybody? All right. Yes. Oh, Mike.
Just like the good old days. Like the good old days. This morning.
Yeah, every day.
Oh, let me just turn this music off.
Yeah. What's up, TikTok? We'll join as they join. And then on all the YouTube channels, what's up, everybody? We're streaming to a few YouTube channels. You know, we have IMC TV. That's where you can see a bunch of collaborators. There's lots of guys on IMC that stream to there. And Masculine Mindset, that's where we put out special content that we get from AZD. And also lots of clips and things, just like all the Instagram and TikTok accounts that have these clips. And some other places, also TikTok, Instagram. And then we're live here, live audience on Zoom. And everybody's at a different level of where they're at with IMC Nation. Like I know Dylan's at a certain level. Troy Olvera was a long time ago, but he's coming back around. Like I told AZD the other day, I don't give up on anybody. I get mad at people and I say dumb shit sometimes because like you're fucking up like I'm doing with Josiah right now. It's just like endless. I'm just bro, like every day I'm texting that guy, you're fucking up. Because I don't care because he's out unless he swerves and he 180s. And if he 180s, then that's why I do it. I'd rather the guy just run away or 180 because right now he's like in this purgatory place where he's like, I'm going to stay in Vegas, but like I'll do boot camp sometime. Like, nah, bro. And then we got guys like Mitzael, who just joined recently, but having lots of great wins, even though he had some losses. Dude lost his job. But now he's hustling and he's getting paid doing his own thing. It was like, that's the push he needed. And I don't know, but if I was a betting man, and I am, then probably we could find where somewhere in that getting, quote, laid off had something to do with IMC Nation. Whether it was his confidence, he started speaking out, he started posting, or something like that. Acting in a way that made people feel threatened by him and they got rid of him. That's how it happens. Maybe that's not his case, but I'd be proud if that happened because that's just purging and cleaning your environment. And then, of course, we have Sultan and myself here and guys in the background, Zay and Benny or Coco Pelli. 408 Bay Shotto, what's up? So we're here and I'm Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation. I've been around for about 9 or 10 years and I could go into that story. And then we're with Sultan, who's been living with me, AZD, Fernando for the last 3.5, 4 years. And he's been around for about 4 or 5 years and done all the trainings since then. And, had one of the greatest changes of anybody that can be documented because nobody was around when I first came around. So you can't really document like my change like that. And I still don't, my change is totally different from Sultan. So I want to talk with him about that and make it real for everybody, like what transformation looks like when you get in this game. Because a lot of guys get into game, whatever that is, they have so many different definitions of game, and then there's different companies people learn from. It used to be RSD would be the thing that we get on guys, but really there's a lot of dating coaches out there that guys are reporting they're learning from this guy, that guy, and they're just like so bad. Yeah. Like most recently I had a guy that I was talking to on live. I told AZD about it, and AZD was like, tell that guy to invite his teacher. His teacher can come, speak to the whole class. I'm not going to argue with him. I won't even speak. I'll just sit back and watch for, I think it was 30 minutes. He said 30 minutes, you can have an open platform to AZD's class. There's 200 members that are, they'll watch the recordings if they're not live on class and just pitch your stuff, talk your game. And one or two of these 200 highly qualified guys, because these are guys that are already, they're paying for game from that guy, or they're paying from game from AZD, so they're obviously invested in learning game. And if you can come and speak for free to an audience of 200 game enthusiasts that are investing in bettering their game, then why wouldn't you do that? You're going to grab one or two clients maybe, and if not, you're at least going to speak with a great pickup artist, seduction artist who has obviously made a name for himself full time. That's what he does. A lot of dating coaches out there, they have their day job, and then at night they're teaching dating or whatever. Like this guy, AZD, has been teaching game full time for 12, 14 years. Like that's his full time thing. That means enough people believe in him and will pay him, and that it supports his lifestyle that he would do that. So obviously he's successful at it. And that guy, his coach, turned him down. He was like, no, I don't want to do it. And I was like, what do you think about your coach being so weak? He's like, I don't see this weakness. I was like, what? He got challenged. He said he gave him a platform to come and speak to highly qualified people. What is he doing that from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on any day? It could be any day of the week. You're saying that every day, 7 days, 365 at 10 a.m., he's too busy to talk to an audience of 200 paying members of a game class for free? That's cowardice. You don't see that? And man, whatever. I hope he joins. I hope he sees this. Whatever. He's a fucking retard. His coach is a pussy. And the guy's not even bad at game. Like compare, like he gets pretty girls or whatever, but not at this level of game. And he admitted it on the live stream. Like he doesn't have that integration. So that's what we're dealing with coaches out there. But so we're not seeing guys change a lot. They just learn a soundbite or a little gambit or something. They get a little result. And then they drop off the game, and they say forever that they've studied game and that they're into it, but they don't know what's going on here. So it's one thing to admire AZD, 6, 7, 8 girlfriends, whatever girlfriend, they're all fine, this and that. It's another thing when one of the guys improves from, let's say, a virgin to having a 10. And it doesn't matter if you have the 10 forever, you got a 10, bro, you fucked her. Sultan, did you fuck a 10?
Yeah.
Yeah! Like, come on! Did you pay her like a whore?
I've never paid any girl.
Bro, did you pick her up and seduce her like a player?
Yeah. No money involved.
Yeah.
Just language and whatever. I mean, everything that I've learned from AZD is how I did it.
What are some of the key things that you had to change from 4 years ago being a virgin, scrawny, pale, ugly, to being one of the most handsome guys in IMC Nation, buff, got a 10 from Las Vegas? Like, what are some of the big changes, obstacles that you had to overcome? Like, guys have a lot of ego. They don't want to change to improve their game. Like, they think they got game, right? So What did you have to do? What are some of the more difficult things that you had to maybe, or are there any, was it just easy? Like, AZ said, do this, you did it, you did this.
It was a lot. It was a lot, man. I can start with, definitely the way I look, because you mentioned that. That's like a big part of it. It's the way you look. I mean, I have to go through like a bunch of changes in like the way I changed the way I look consistently. Like, I'm not talking about what I wear, but physically, like I would change the way I look, like haircut, fucking beard, what else? Accessories and shit, earrings, all that fucking shit, necklaces, like what the clothes I would wear, like all that. I have to work out. I mean, I weighed like 130 pounds when I first started this stuff, bro. Like, I look like a skeleton. So those things definitely matter a lot. Looks for sure matter. And it doesn't, because it's not like I got some fucking reconstructive surgery to look like this. It was all done just by changing my appearance. It was no surgery involved. So it was different pieces that fit together. And it's like a dial. Like I kept clicking this dial, like you're trying to unlock a safe. It's like I kept clicking. Like, no, that's not it. That haircut doesn't work. No, that doesn't work. I fucking even bought contacts. I bought colored contacts. They didn't work. No. Those earrings don't work. That necklace doesn't work. No.
How would you know it didn't work?
It would never get me results. Like at some point I had a shaved head and a beard, and I kept getting black girls. And I remember I was like, man, I don't want to get black girls, dude.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like black girls.
I can see, yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, so I was like, man, and the AZD was like, yeah, bro. Most girls aren't going to like that look. Like, a lot of girls aren't going to like the shaved head with a beard. Not going to like that look. It's like a particular kind of girl that likes it. And for me, it was black girls that liked me. So I didn't like black girls. So I had to change it. I shaved the beard, grew my hair, and, I didn't look good with a shaved head. So you have to like look at that. And how did I know I didn't look good? It's pretty obvious. you know, you can take a picture of yourself and look at it. If you don't know, then show it to some people around you that have a good sense of style.
So guys out there in the world, they could also change their hair and their
True.
fashions and things like that. So what is it that living with AZD or training with AZD, like what changes did, maybe that was part of it. AZD was changing that stuff for you. Like just, in broad strokes, if you just like defocus your eyes and look at your 4-year journey since you've been living with AZD, like what are some of the more difficult, was it difficult for you to start working out? Was it difficult for you to put on earrings or shave your head?
I think one of the biggest things is, man, it's admitting that you don't know game. It's admitting that you suck with women. Like, I think that was one of the biggest things.
How did that happen for you? Like you just looked in the mirror and said, you suck with women.
No, it was after just like not having any interactions with women, like just being so bad that it came to a point where I was like, I'm not getting any results. Like I couldn't talk to a girl. I couldn't even say hi. Couldn't even make eye contact. So once I started studying AZD, I think it was around the time, probably Love Spell. When I signed up for Love Spell, it was $97 a month. I think it was around Love Spell when I was like, man, like I don't know anything about women. Like zero. I know zero.
So that's like 4 years ago, bro. Love Spell was a long time ago. So like, has there been any difficult, let's say in like, because even a year ago, you didn't have a 10.
True.
Maybe we weren't exposed to as many 10s. Being in Vegas, we're exposed to a lot more beauty and what have you.
It's true.
So is there, so 4 years ago, you admitted, I'm not good with women. And it took you 4 years, and now you weren't good. You were a virgin and really not good.
Yeah, and then, you know, when Chosen came around, I realized that I actually hadn't dropped that idea. I actually thought
First Chosen or the second one?
Second.
Okay, so the Chosen recently was, around April of this year. So about, what is it, July now? So about 3 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I was still holding on to this idea that I knew something. And that was a big part of, like, you know, I would get correct, because AZD would correct me a lot. Like, he fucking corrected me pretty hard sometimes. It's like he would correct me, and, you know, up until that moment in Chosen 2, maybe it was a little bit afterwards, maybe like, it was during Chosen 2, I don't know when, it was somewhere during that camp, that I realized I wasn't taking the corrections. Like, I wasn't accepting his corrections. I would hear the correction, but like, it was insane. He even said, he's like, bro, you're being insane, because
the link is in the bio.
I would hear the correction, but I would somehow try to justify that I was right and he was wrong. And then I would move forward thinking that I accepted what he said, I accepted what the teacher said, but I was still moving forward trying to like justify that I was actually right in what I did in whatever situation he was correcting. So that was holding me back, because...
How did you come to that realization?
I think it was that night in the car where he corrected me on something.
Oh, yeah,
This whole thing happened. This like whole fucking bullshit happened.
I remember that.
So after that, it made me realize... And then, you know, another big part of it is the judgment. Like, the thing that was really big for me was... that's what it was. Yeah, it was the judgment. It was... I would go out, you know, we go out so frequently here in Vegas. We're going out like 6 nights a week. Even in San Jose, when we're going out like 2 nights a week, 1 night a week, there was like an anger that I had towards myself when I would go out and set, and I wouldn't, you know, I would do some good things and I would fuck up, and then I would judge the mistakes with anger behind it. I wouldn't I wouldn't be able to look at the mistake I made and be able to discern, okay, I fucked up here, but let me see what I can do to fix this when it comes up again, because it's going to happen again when you make a mistake in field. It always shows up again until you fix it. But I wasn't doing that. I would look at the mistake and I would get angry about it. And then I would like get fucking frustrated, and then it would usually fuck up the rest of my night. Like, I'd get home and it would fuck up my night. As in, like, you know, I'd go to sleep all pissed off and shit because I fucked up in field, like however many times, whatever the mistake was, right, in conversation, in my game. And that was happening for so long until... Man, I was probably after Chosen. It was probably Genesis or Chosen. It was around there. Split Genesis, Chosen in this area when this changed for me. It was really judging myself, judging my game, really, and having a lot of anger towards myself. It sounds like it's not a big deal, but you'll see, like, after you go out in the field, you'll come home and you judge yourself the whole fucking night. You'll be like, I fucked up there, fucked up there, fucked up there. And that, in my opinion, is what was ruining my game. And I think that's what's ruining a lot of guys' game, because that's what it was ruining my game for so long. And just recently, I don't do that anymore. I still judge my game. I don't like say, oh, I'm doing fucking great, I'm the best. No. But I look at it without anger, because, anger is evil to be, especially angry towards myself. That's fucking evil as fuck. So once I made that connection that I was being evil, not only to myself, but to someone else, if I'm judging, let's say, if I'm judging Yogi Chris, that would also be evil. So I was seeing that like judging him would be evil. I saw that. I was like, yeah, it makes sense. If I judge him, it's evil, right? But if I judge myself, I was like, yeah, it's not really evil. It's not actually, but I was judging myself based on anger. I was angry at myself for my mistakes in field. So that's what was evil. It's not the judgment. It's being able to discern this judgment that I'm having towards myself should not have any anger behind it. Like, why should it? I haven't done anything wrong. It was just a fucking mistake in field. Like, it could easily be corrected without the anger. The anger will prevent you from correcting that. So
this is interesting because this happened like in April sometime around the Chosen era.
Yeah.
By the way, Binks, I was just talking about you and your teacher and all of that, so I don't know if you're able to watch the earlier part of this, or I'll just repeat it for you if you need to hear it again. But that's who I was talking about with the dating coach and everything. And so that happened around like April or whatever, that this whole anger towards yourself, like awareness came. But you'd already gotten this girl, right? You'd already been with this girl that you're with. You weren't at the level that you're at.
No,
now,
I don't think I was with her. It wasn't like official, no.
We're just
seeing each other
anger,
here and there.
right? She'd opened up to you, right? No, you hadn't had sex here with her?
We had sex, but it wasn't like a relationship.
Oh, okay. So you bagged a 10. You got her in bed. And then later, after you forgave yourself this anger issue that you had.
And that happened after 2 times of like going ghost on her and disappearing on her.
You disappeared on her?
Twice.
And because you were angry?
I had my own insecurities that were not resolved.
But she didn't know that. She just knew you ghosted on her. Or did she know that you were angry?
She didn't know about any of that.
No, so she from her perspective, this guy just ghosted on her.
Well, my thing was like, it seemed like I was chasing her. And when I look back, I wasn't. It was my own insecurity.
Right.
So that's why I pulled back once. Then I went back and started talking to her, and then I pulled back again.
So the reason why I'm bringing it up like this, so obviously getting the girl to want to be in a relationship with you, you had to overcome this personal anger thing.
Yeah.
But there was steps before that, because you still had to go from being a virgin, not being able to get any girls, to getting some ugly strippers, to getting some other girls, to finally you got a 10.
Yeah.
So was there any big it maybe feels so long ago, because San Jose is so long ago, but I don't know, were there any, so you had to upgrade your fashion, your look, and tweak things. Some things didn't work, so you get rid of those and new adaptations or whatever. Then fast forward recently, only 3 months ago, you overcame this self-anger, and that's what enabled this relationship to happen. Were there any other big obstacles for you that were challenging, you resisted, or were, tremendous, like, for your game?
I think one of the biggest things was, there's so much, but okay, one that comes to mind is,
and guys on Zoom and Instagram, you can go to the Zoom link is in the bio if you want to join the stream and see
these are great questions because I haven't really looked at this.
Right on.
So I'm answering these for the first time.
Yeah.
For everybody that's watching
first stream, first time answering these questions.
No one's asking these questions. These are great questions.
Right on.
So
I didn't know they were great, Zay. Good job.
They're great questions.
Yeah.
It sounds like fucking cliche, but it's like, it's because the first girl in San Jose, I'm surprised I even got her, because the first interaction I had with her was like, when I look back at it in my mind, it was it wasn't bad, but man, I was a fucking dick. Like, and not the dick that you think. It's not like a dick like I was being mean to her, but actually it does make sense, because I was actually against everything she was for. I was against everything that she was like talking about. And not in the sense that like I was trying to do that to like be cool or macho or some shit. It was just, man, like everything you're saying is fucking bullshit. Like, fuck San Francisco. I remember some of the stuff I said. I said, fuck San Francisco. San Francisco sucks. That place is garbage. Bunch of homeless people, dirty fucking people there. There's no parking. Like, I just named all this shit that sucked about San Francisco. And then I remember I told her, like, you look like you're fucking lost. Because she looked like scared or some shit when I first saw her. She was sitting alone. She was scared. And, as I'm
from Rhino.
Yeah, as I'm saying this stuff, in the moment when I look back, like if I teleport there right now, my heart's like this. I'm like, fuck, I can't believe I'm saying this shit because, saying stuff like that gets you fucking kicked out of a venue very quickly. So as I'm saying it, I'm like, this is like, I can't believe I'm saying this shit. Like, how am I
just like experimenting with this way of speaking, or
it just made sense to say it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. And in the moment, I wasn't actually thinking about the consequences. Now I see what the consequences could have been. So what I mean by all that is that I was totally okay with fucking up really bad and like getting kicked out. Granted, I would never do anything that would like blatantly get me kicked out, right? Like, don't take that fucking and go and do stupid shit.
Okay, so now my question is, was there a point when you did care about fucking up and then there was a transition where you stopped caring about fucking up?
See, there was. Just
like if you go back to Love Spell, Lion's Den, first moving with AZD, bald head, big beard, did you care about fucking up?
I didn't really even have the concept because I had no girls.
Right.
So
okay, so
I
then
didn't
you start going to Rhino, and it was probably like 6 months of going to strip clubs before you got that girl? Because we started going to Rhino, we started going to the strip clubs around like April of 2021, April, May. And then you got that girl when we were moving around Airbnbs, and that was like October of that year or so when you got with that girl. I don't know how I remember this stuff, but it was like 5 or 6 months we were going to strip clubs.
I think it was a little longer.
Okay.
Because we moved into the second Airbnb.
Yeah. Okay, maybe November, December.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
So you get that girl, and then, okay, so you're just like disagreeing with everything she's saying, which has reasons why that works, because a lot of times that won't work, right? I'm sure you've disagreed with a lot of girls and what they say, and it didn't work with them. But it made that girl, like, she was just like, what the fuck? This guy is like, he thinks he knows better, and she knew that she knew wrong, so it's like he must know better, right?
Yeah.
Because he's disagreeing so certainly with everything that I'm saying.
Yeah.
So what made you be like that? Were you already like that, or was that a difficult thing? Was it AZD teachings? Obviously, everything's AZD teachings.
Yeah, it was definitely so much of the mindset and going out so frequently. So frequently as in like we were going out once or twice a week, which was frequent at the time.
Yeah.
So it was going out so frequently, being in conversation with women so frequently that, I mean, I was like that to a degree. And that was a problem of mine too. Like I was an asshole, not on purpose, but it's just, I don't know, my personality and the way I grew up. I don't know. It was something about me was naturally like that.
My traumas, my childhood traumas.
Yeah. We gotta go to fucking therapy. That's funny. Some guy was telling me we need to go on therapy on here. He was like bringing a psychiatrist on. It was funny. But besides that, so I was naturally like that to a degree, and I've definitely calibrated. I'm not like that anymore.
Oh, really?
Although it does come out sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So that it was a natural way of being. However, it was also combined with what AZD was teaching at the time.
Of course.
And that, I believe, calibrated the way I was being, especially with that first girl. And that girl, what it was, and I think it's really with all girls that we're in relationships with like that, or we get to that level with, is we become their fantasy. And I was that girl's fantasy for some period of time, for however long we were in a relationship for. I was her fantasy. She's admitted.
Mute, Jorge Colon.
You're mute. There we go.
Okay, quick question. I want to ask.
I feel like I'm not answering you, man.
I know it's not an easy question, and it's difficult. You're having difficulty getting to the Zay. Do you see that he's having difficulty getting to the answer?
What's the question?
He's not even paying attention.
Can you ask the question one more time? I'm going to answer it this time.
Oh, okay. Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll circle back to the question, because what I want to ask, because you were saying about, going out so often, and in San Jose, and even though it was only 1 or 2 times a week, sometimes 3 times a week, and obviously that's picked up since we've been in Vegas.
Yeah.
Has it been difficult to go out so much? Obviously, financially, it's expensive. One of the things that with AZD is this just money's not an excuse. You got to find it. You got to have $10 to go out. And if you don't have $10 to go out, then that's pretty pathetic. And you need to work to get $10. Yeah. But, leverage your credit cards, leverage your relationships. You don't need all the extra stuff that you have, sell it, whatever, because you got to want it, and you got to go for game mastery. You got to be in field to do that. And I don't know that he's ever really said it so clear like that. Like, that's what you got to do. I mean, he's said it in many other ways. Like he has said, he's given up everything for this. He's sacrificed everything for this game. And it shows in his results that it was worth it. And, so definitely we come up against financial obstacles of always going out because AZD, doesn't sit in the cheap seatings, and, we're getting bottles sometimes. And, we go to fancy restaurants where the finest women are or whatever. So it's like, it costs money. But other than that, like,
going out,
emotionally, guys will resist wanting to go out. They can't make themselves go out. They're not feeling social.
I fucking love going out.
They're not okay. So it's
never
been an obstacle
out,
for you to. AZD's going out 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week. Let's go to 3 strip clubs, 4 strip clubs tonight. Like,
yeah, I mean, going out is, man, I love going out. It's like,
okay, so that wasn't.
Man, it's my passion, bro. Like, I love going out, and it's not going out to just go out and get drunk. Like, we're going out, like, applying this shit every time we go out. So like when we go out, it's one of the most exciting things for me. Even when I'm like not feeling it, I'll make myself feel it somehow, and I'm like, I'm gonna go out. And I'm not going out tonight, but I'm happy about it. However, yeah, man, I love going out. So when it comes to going out, has it been difficult to go out? No.
Okay. All right. So that's one thing. Okay.
I think that's I think what everyone online and everyone watching this, you guys are missing is you guys are not going out. Like, if you're not going out, how are you expecting to get better?
It's difficult when you're a lone wolf out there, but there's ways around that. There's things to do, and we got solutions for that because most of us, myself at least, I was a lone wolf for a long time out there in the world and had to, make it for myself. How do I come across women, and how do I flaunt my strengths, my DHVs, my higher values, so I get women, putting yourself in those situations. And then, we've established a community here, and it's almost like settlers. Like, we've settled in Las Vegas. And so we have a whole structure, a whole system. What am I trying to say? We have the organization and the structure to receive guys to be able to move to Vegas, or, even visit Vegas. But, it's possible for you to move here and completely change your life.
Yeah.
Just like, guys did that back in the pickup artist days of the game and Mystery Method. Like, guys moved to Los Angeles and lived in Project Hollywood in tents and sleeping bags and whatever. And, if it was possible, Vince Kelvin had a Project Hollywood also. And it was like 11 apprentices or whatever were sleeping in tents. And then him and one other guy had a bedroom or something. You know what I mean? Because guys will do that. They'll change their lives. And, that was before COVID and the world lockdown or whatever. Social life was different. And I think a lot of guys are having trouble coping with the post-apocalypse world of dating. And that's, our solutions are, we took a guy, I'm claiming in that because I helped get Sultan involved in that, but AZD took a guy and IMC took a guy that was scrawny, completely 100% unsuccessful with women, and got him to a place now where he loves going out. He already loved going out, but now, did you love going out before you met AZD?
No, because I was alone. And, the times that I did go out, I went out once and somehow I managed without game to get 2 girls to go to a bar with me, and I almost got fucking murdered by a biker gang. So that was one of my main experiences of going out alone before studying AZD, before even knowing game. And, that experience really fucking was fuck it, I don't want to go out anymore. And if I do, it's going to be during the day. So did I like going out before? No, I didn't, because I don't want to go out alone. You don't want to go out alone at night. It fucking sucks. I have. That's why I hate it. So going out with, at least 3, 4, 5, sometimes 15, 20, 25 of us, no one's going to press you. Because they're going to have to deal with another 24 fucking guys
that's true.
Look sharp as fuck.
A lot of guys, you don't have the experience of walking through any kind of social venue, an outdoor mall, a big ass casino, a strip club with 75 venomous girls that with their 9s and 10s, and walking, feeling completely invincible. Like, nothing can get to you. You're in a group of 20 or 25 warrior-looking guys, socially savvy. A lot of them are fighters, and there's nothing that's going to get to you. Barring a fucking SWAT team or some mobsters come out with a bunch of AKs or something, you're walking with zero fear.
Yeah.
And still, there'll be habits, because guys have habits of being concerned about if she rejects me, and then they'll feel like she got to them, even though you're invincible in a group of guys, but somehow because you carried so much weight about her opinion, her opinion mattered. but go out with a group enough to the point where if you go dark or turn dim or antisocial or whatever, you lose the respect of the guys you're with. Over time, you'll start to hold the opinions of your friends that you're out with higher than the opinions of girls out there. Whereas even when you're in the beginning, you go out with 20 guys and you're still holding the opinions of the girls more than the guys you're out with. But over time, as you live with these guys and trust them, and really the pressure is on that you can't just, be a little beta boy when you go out, and you care more about their opinions, more and more you become everything that the dating coaches will say. You need to be independent of her opinions, not care about her opinions, all the self-help coaches don't care about the opinions of others, this and that. And that's a reality for us, but it's also a reality that we know how fake people are being out there, guys are being when they say they don't care about the opinions of other people. Bro, come out with us. See how you are still caring about the opinions of other people. And if that makes sense. So, okay. So the question that I was, that you asked me to reword or say it again for you was something like, what are some of the more difficult obstacles that you've had to overcome to be able to go from virgin to getting a 10 in 4 years? Everybody wants it to be a shortcut, like 6-week transformation, 4-week transformation. I've been training game for 2 months and I got 3 girlfriends now and they're all 10s. The reality is that I don't know who you know that got a 10. I don't know if you know anybody that got a 10. And if we have the same reference for what a 10 is, Sultan got a 10. So yeah, what are some of the obstacles you've had to overcome? Like, okay, fashion, had to change your look.
Yeah,
okay,
those are some minor things.
So I want to know the major things, if there were any. Or if there were none. It's just been a gradual, easy transformation that just 4 years, putting in your time, putting in your money, putting in everything, the effort, and it just happened naturally. That's fine. I really just want to know.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely happened naturally.
You guys can join the Zoom if you want.
While that was happening, definitely getting corrections from AZD, that to me was difficult. It was difficult to get those corrections.
Okay, so let's talk about those corrections then. What's difficult about receiving corrections from AZD on your game for you? What has been difficult?
Yeah, you're asking me why it was difficult?
Yeah, what was difficult about receiving corrections from, so Mies, he's a jiu-jitsu fighter. I'm sure if his jiu-jitsu coach said, hey, you need to put your hand here when you do the arm bar, quit doing it here, it may not be difficult for him to implement that correction. You know what I mean? So what's difficult about taking corrections from AZD about your game?
Yeah, it's when AZD corrects, at least when he corrects me, man, it's hard. They're harsh corrections. And it's not like, bro, just smile more next time. It's not like that. It's like, it's aggressive. Like, what's an example of fucking correction he'll give? Bro, you're being a fucking pussy, bro. You're being a bitch. You're being weak. You're being a fucking pussy, bro, in front of everybody. And I don't give a fuck about what everybody else thinks. It's just, when you hear those words, like it hits you because it's true. It's not like I can be like, well, no, it's not true. Because if I say it's not true, then, okay, I have to back up what I said. If it's not true, then okay, let's get everybody's fucking feedback. Bro, is that true? Bro, is that true? Well, everyone's going to say, yes, it's true, because it's true. But to hear those words and have to accept them is different than hearing the words. Because you can hear it all day. But if you can't accept it, that it's true, then good luck changing. Because you keep doing the same shit over and over again. You'll still make that mistake. It's different, if the jiu-jitsu guy gives you because your jiu-jitsu teacher is soft. Like, let's be honest. No matter how hard. With women.
We're not talking about jiu-jitsu. He's probably great at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, he's soft. He's probably soft with you, even giving you corrections.
Probably.
Now, I can't prove that.
Yeah, we don't know.
I can't prove that, but he's definitely not going to be anywhere near where AZD will be with his correction in game, where your coach would be in your, tutoring, your math, or whatever the fuck, jiu-jitsu, whatever you want to, coaches you have that are not this. So that's why I believe AZD is one of the reasons he's the best, because no other coach is going to say what he says. Every other coach will coddle you and be like, bro, you did a pretty good job. Want to suck on my fucking titties? Okay, here you go. Like, they're going to coddle you like a little kid. And that's why you're never going to get good. And like what Yogi Chris was saying about the other coaches telling you that the generic shit were like, don't give a fuck about anybody's opinions, be alpha. Those guys, when you listen, like Kyle Fruinigen, when you hear that guy say that, bro, every word out of his mouth sounds like, I want people to be cool with me and like me. So how the fuck do you even listen to that shit? And that's not even just him. That's every guy that I've heard say that. They all actually sound like, they say I don't care about other people's opinions, but every word or sound of the word actually says I give a fuck about everybody's opinion. I want everyone to like me.
And you know, it's interesting. Sometimes this has happened in class or whatever, and AZD will call out somebody like, let's say yourself, for sounding a certain way. And then, or maybe me or somebody, we've seen it happen so many times. Do you know that you sound weak or something like that? Like that's baited, you hear it. And the guy can't hear it in his own sound or he's in denial. You know, what's funny is because we've both been through that correction, that we did hear it. We did know that it was in our voice. That we maybe lacked a little courage. We maybe lacked a little bit of discernment and something about everybody's feedback on what he's calling out. It's like it snaps us out of this hypnosis where we're like in a trance, in some delusion about how we sound, how we act, this and that. And the brothers that we all respect and trust to some level at least, because if you dedicate the amount of time, effort, money it takes to train an IMC, you automatically be like Mies. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. If he was like, let's say, a purple belt or something, he would respect the brown belt. He would respect the blue belt. He would respect the purple belt if he was in his own academy and he knew what that guy had to go through to get to that belt. Like, he may not like the guy, but there's some level of respect, like, you know, you're on the same team, you know what I mean? And maybe there's an exception to that, but for the most part, like there's an unspoken, or maybe you speak it, but you wouldn't need to speak it. You would have some unspoken respect for the guy that's going through all the hardships that you're going through. And so when you're in this game and you're training with Daisy and you're receiving harsh corrections and you're investing so much in it, and then your brothers are giving you some feedback that's antagonistic to your self-opinion of yourself, your self-image and your self-view, and AZD is calling it out, and they're giving you feedback, and something about it is starting to shift the illusion in your own mind about it, and it becomes clear, like, oh shit, I do sound like that or act like that or whatever. And that's the power of the mastermind and the council effect. And why am I saying all that?
Because getting corrections.
Oh yeah, getting corrections. Yeah. So it's amazing. So like guys out there in, whatever world, Levi and Andrew and Dylan and Troy, of course, Troy, and everybody, Tony, everybody. Because, bro, it just happened to me like the other day, like 2-3 days ago. I'm still getting that correction where it's like, you're being this way, I don't see it, they all see it. Well, fuck, my eyes, it's like you go to the optometrist or whatever and they put the different lenses in front. Is it A or B? A or B, which one's better, A or B? And you don't think A is blurry until you get B, and B is sharper, and you're like, oh shit, A was blurry, B's better. And then A or B, and then it's like, okay, A is better now. Oh man, I thought B was sharper. It's like, whoa, I'm still blurry on my own self-image. I'm not seeing myself clearly. And so time after time, we're getting, you like this analogy, time after time, we're getting these are you following? Yeah, we're getting these corrections that's sharpening us up. That's where AZD has emphasized his character, and it's validated by 10 after 10 after 10. So it's not just a single biased opinion of one 10, it's multiple 10. So you can triangulate your character qualities that are actually attractive to the highest value women. That's AZD over years and years and years, and it's refined, and that's what he dispenses to us. That's what he's teaching us, his discoveries at the highest level game on earth. That's what it is. So when we're getting called out for our voice being this or that, beta, insecure, unsure, this or that, low value, can you hear it? Oh, you can't hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Okay, you can all hear it? Okay, somebody else tell them. And it focuses us on reality because we're in a delusion. So all you guys out there in lone wolf universe, lone wolf space, even if you're not a lone wolf, you live with some guys, you live with your parents, you got friends, you go out, whatever, you're a lone wolf in IMC Nation unless you're going out with an IMC guy. Try to go out with an RSD guy, try to go out with a KLF student, try to go out with anybody. Bro, you're alone if you're not with an IMC guy. And you definitely have innumerable of these corrections that we're talking about in your delivery, in your voice and everything. And you got nobody around you to clear it up for you. You're going to be stuck in your delusion until you come around a tribe that can not just everybody bombard you with corrections, but their reactions to you. It's only a matter of time. Like, it'll put your attention on something in you that you are blind to because you're out there by yourself. And I don't know why I'm saying all of this, but that's what came out based on what Sultan was saying. Do you have anything to say on what I just said? Because I just got carried away. Bro, guys, don't smoke weed. You get carried away.
Yeah, it's important. The corrections are important because you need to get different people's perspective on it, not just one person. You know, it's very important to get it from the coach, because if the guy gives me a correction and he has like no growth and he has no results, all right, bro, I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear your correction. Like, fuck your correction.
Yeah.
But if the teacher who's demonstrating every day what he's teaching is giving me a correction, then I got to listen. And I got to come to terms, no matter how big inflated my ego is, I have to come to terms. Well, he's right. And if he's wrong, then I better have my reasoning to back up why he's wrong. It's like, I've told guys, well, who do you know that's like this guy the other day? He joined the stream and he's like, no, AZD's not number one and this and that. And I was like, okay, that's you have a right to say that. But if you disagree with me, now you also have to remember, you got to prove that you're right. I'm proving that I'm right. How? AZD's number one because you can look at his results everywhere. YouTube, Google, Facebook, fucking Instagram. Your results are everywhere.
In person.
Right. Everywhere. Now, show me why you believe you're right in saying that he's not number one. And the guy couldn't show any proof. He got emotional, some like emotional black dude, like being a mama's boy. So, like,
Demi?
Huh?
Was it Demi?
No. It was some guy named Jay, some shit. I forgot his name.
Jace?
No, I forgot his name. Some dude, fake profile picture, he like hides behind him. Whatever. He's just fake guy, whatever. The reason I'm saying that is because when you hear different perspectives of a correction on you, you can see that it's not someone just trying to be a dick to you. They're helping you, but you're in your own way, and that's what a lot of this is. You're standing in your own way of improving because you're not on the program, or you're on the program, but you can't accept the correction, or you think that you're really good when you're really not because you don't have any results. Like, you think you're really good at having conversations when you come around and you realize, oh shit, I fucking suck at conversating with women. Like, you have all these delusions, like Yogi Chris said, because you're alone. And in your head, you think that you're the greatest and you're the best. And maybe you are in your little like ecosystem of like 10 friends that you have that don't really have anything going on in their life. Yeah, maybe you're the best. But is that really who you're comparing with? Like some guy who works at 7-Eleven and, is fat and like sloppy? Like, is that who you're comparing yourself? Because if that's who you're comparing yourself with, and I mean, that's not really anything to compare to. So that's why I was saying the corrections and then getting the different points of view from everybody in the room is so important.
Yeah.
Because it's not just one person telling you, it's everybody. And it's different language. It's not just this, everyone's saying the same exact words, repeating it. It's like everyone's seeing it from their own point of view and at what level they're at.
It's very powerful. That's honestly, you guys would transform so much if you came to Vegas for 3 days and 2 nights. 3 days and 2 nights. That's all it takes. You'll be around the tribe. It'll be like nothing you've ever experienced. And it could be any 3 days. You pick 3 days. Any 3 days. I mean that. Like, understand the words I'm saying. Any 3 days. It'll change your life so fast, so much. And then, yes, those effects will wear off. You'll go home, and it's not going to last. You'll have some great realizations. You'll change forever. But, I mean, that's worth it to me. I mean, it's worth it to me because it's like, you have the opportunity. Let's say Donald Trump is coming through town. You have the opportunity to go to the fucking and meet him and have dinner with him. And, the effects, some effect will last forever, and a lot of it will fade after you meet him. But, hell, you got to meet him. You know what I mean? And, if you really, and there's a pathway to you actually working with Donald Trump, living with Donald Trump. Jeez, that would be so amazing, right? Okay, so we started this stream like 10, 15 minutes late, so we'll go 10, 15 minutes over. If you guys have, right away, Akomar, you're really weird. You comment a lot of dumb shit, but right on. Pro-Trump, that's dope. So guys online, if you have any questions or comments, I saw some things being written, but I don't know if anything is worth... Zay, you want to read those to us? Say it with your chest. Who's this? Mitzael! Speak loud. You got a mic? Mike!
Yo. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, is this Mies?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Mies.
My bad. I'm just in a
go ahead.
location.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have a
could you-
date. Wait. Are the questions about you guys or is it about something that I'm
Anything.
facing?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay,
Go
cool.
ahead.
So I have a date scheduled for today, and I sent over the locations and everything. Normally, I hear a confirmation But this girl, she has left me on red, so I don't know if I should like follow up and see if she's still down, or should I just like give it a lost cause or something?
I would.
Okay.
I would. Yeah. Uh,
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. If it starts weighing on your mind, you got to decide, like, am I being insecure and like too controlling of the situation, or am I allowing this bitch to fuck with me and my time because I don't want to lose her by confronting her about why haven't you hit me up or whatever. Yeah, I get it. You're getting a haircut right now. So, it depends on, I mean, the timing is important in these things, like, but if she left you on red like a couple hours ago and you have like a plan, then it'd be like, I don't know what you would say. Sultan, what would you say to that? What would your answer to the girl be?
Let's see. What is the last thing? You said that you responded to her twice and she hasn't responded, or what was the last thing that was said? Either way, I'm gonna eat and treat myself. So. Yeah, it'd be good to know what the last, like, her message and your message was. If we could know that.
Yeah. If you know that you're going to eat anyway, like you're going to that restaurant, you're going to go anyway, then you don't have to hit her up again. I would maybe wait until you're already there.
Can you guys hear me?
Huh? What?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. What's up?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had FaceTime yesterday, and she confirmed through the FaceTime, so I sent her the location this morning, and I didn't hear back from her since. My connection's like really bad over here.
Yeah, I mean, that was the message today probably would have been more of like a greeting, like, hey, good morning, are we still on for later, something like that, before I send the address. But since you sent the address and she left it on red, I mean, I might just send checking on you or whatever, something like that. But again, if you're going to go anyway, you don't have to send anything. If you weren't going to go, if it's like you had some date and you were going to go do this with her, then, I mean, that is the plight of dating like that, and like going and deviating from your normal schedule to go on a date with somebody, is it can fuck with your time. That's where you get the idea of flakes or whatever. We get flakes. We get a lot of flakes. We get flaked all the time. But because we're almost always, like 99 out of 100 times, doing that activity anyway, that the flake is, you're able to like kind of roll off the flake. It's like somebody like going to punch you and you move the shoulder and it just like kind of grazes you and then you just come back to your stance. It's kind of like that, where it's like it doesn't get affected. You don't get affected by it. And that allows the longer term seduction to happen. It can be very frustrating if you're going out of your way to go on a date and then they flake on you, because then it's like, you kind of depend on them to make it happen. So that's, again, a lot of times that's what happens with lone wolf game, because, who are you going to meet up with? If you're not meeting up with the girl, what are you doing? You're doing something alone, going somewhere that's not, it doesn't have to be the worst thing, but it's higher value if you're going to meet some friends or you're going with somebody, and it's not just you're doing an alone thing. Every now and then an alone thing is fine, but, and she doesn't have to know that every time you're going out, you're doing an alone thing. But that's the problem of trying to date like that. So it would be good if you're going to that restaurant anyway, and then you can build up your rep with the staff or whatever. Maybe meet someone on the way or what have you. So yeah, that's what I think about that. Anybody else online, or Zay, if you could read the comments, you could just skip Mises.
I had a question.
Really quick, we're going to let Zay read these loud. Go ahead, Zay.
Sounds good.
And I think that name is pronounced Levi. IMC, baby. As soon as you can, man. Any 3 days, come here. As soon as you can come. That's just the reality of it. It was the origin story of, particularly Sultan. We didn't talk about me. We could, but we're out of time now. So maybe in the future. My story, I've told my story many times. Guys, you can check out all my episodes on Enlightened Masculinity podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple, over 350 episodes. A lot of stories in there, a lot of interviews with IMC guys. And you'll definitely hear my evolution. I was a much worse speaker back then. And so, yeah, it's been mostly the origin story of Sultan and some of the obstacles he's gone through to go from being pathetic with women to getting a 10. Okay, Zay? Yeah, we just went over that. We can skip Mises. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, then who was it that had unmuted? Tony.
It was me.
Tony.
Yeah.
What's up?
I appreciate you for helping me get through the process of yesterday. By the way,
Yeah,
I really enjoyed.
We talked like 90 minutes talking about the phase 1 process.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I was having trouble pulling the trigger. I was like, and then like Yogi Chris helped me through it and stuff like that. But my question is, I don't know if this is a dumb question or not. What's the vision of IMC Nation? Like, is it just besides just getting women and stuff like that? What's the big vision? Like world domination type? Like, you know?
I don't know that it'll take over the world like that because it's so taboo and there's a lot of counter opinions in the world. But when you're asking about IMC Nation's vision, understand that IMC Nation is not a thing that has a vision. The people in IMC Nation have individual visions of IMC Nation, depending on how responsible they feel about IMC Nation. I feel very responsible for IMC Nation. Other guys like, let's say, Misael, he just left, or let's say you, Tony, you're in IMC as a student, and you may have some vision for IMC, but you're probably your vision for yourself is much more prominent in your mind. So I have a personal vision for IMC, and a lot of that is, it's a double-edged sword where it's like a lot of that is out of my control, and I don't want to come at it with too much of an agenda that I start getting tight or missing opportunities because I'm so focused on it being my way and what I want. Understanding that IMC Nation, it also depends on a lot of other people. Say, AZD, of course, like I have a certain vision, and if he swerves on something, then, I am, that's like the ocean current or the wind that I'm sailing towards. Like he's the wind in my sails for what I do with IMC Nation. And if he changes direction, well, I got to change direction, But other people, Sultan, other people that are big movers and players, Kingpin, that they have a hand in this creation also. So I don't want to get my agenda too wrapped up in things that are out of my control. So I'm doing my duty and, being the best player that I can be and the best messenger and spokesperson that I can be. Right now, the vision is the creation. First of all, everybody getting their money to a place where we can be investing in properties. That's what we're doing. Invest in properties, recruiting guys from around the world, really around the world, because we've had guys from Canada and Europe and whatever, that want to move to Las Vegas and build with us. We've got a martial arts center that we're going to move here and build, and that's going to be another level of game. Opening a strip club. So many houses and bases where guys are here. That strip club business could multiply to multiple strip clubs. We have property in Utah and making that into a retreat center. Multiple bases around the world. So there's guys in Albuquerque, there's guys in UK, there's guys in Australia that are looking to get higher level. They may not be able to move here. So get in a base, start implementing what we've laid out a structure for how to, ascend on this process, even if you're far away. And, so I see everybody doing that. As far as where the business goes, big collaborations with AZD and other celebrity influencers and podcasters and things like that. Like that's in the vision, that's in the works. And, when we get to those levels, let's say we're investing in properties, we're having collaborations, and we've opened a strip club and the fight center is open, a lot of new things will open from that level. You go up from level 2 in the hotel to level 10 in the hotel, you're going to have a whole different vision of what's happening. You'll see from a higher altitude, the traffic that's coming. You'll have a farther sighted vision of what's happening. So that's as far as I really see right now. The rest would be trying to predict the weather 6 months from now. I don't know what the weather's going to be more than a few days from now, really. So that's where I'm at with it. Sultan, you got a vision or anything different from what I said?
I definitely see it's taking over like the pickup world because it's dead, man. Like there's guys on this Instagram page saying like their study, like this guy says he's like a red pill guy, and I'm like, bro, what does that even mean? Like, what are you talking about? I didn't say that to him, but like that's what I want to say. Like, what do you mean you're a red pill guy? Like, And then people that have studied for like 20 years, 15 years, they just found out about game. Like the game, the world of pickup and seduction is just, it's just so polluted. No, it's not even polluted. Yeah. It's not a thing. Like it doesn't exist. Like who's really teaching game and seduction? And if they are at AZD's level, there isn't anyone. So I wouldn't say I have a vision for it because I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. But if I could choose, like my decision would be like to take over the pickup industry, the pickup industry, game, seduction, whatever you want to call it, red pill. Red pill community is dead. But it'd be like a revival of it. And AZD's mentioned this a few times because there is no one else doing it. Because, okay, let's say there's some guys that are teaching pickup, which there are, right? Whatever that even, pickup, they're teaching pickup. Where are their students? I don't see any of their students doing this. I don't see anybody's students doing what we're doing. Where are they at? I don't see them. So they either don't have any students or they have students that have no results. Or they have students that have some results, but they're too shy and scared to get on a camera and talk about it. So I don't think that is a student. Like if that's what you're teaching, if you're teaching your student to get a phone number or something and get a date, a coffee date, but he can't get on a fucking stream and talk about his experience of studying with you, then bro, that's game. Like this is game what we're doing. A bunch of people are gonna watch this shit and they're gonna judge me, they're probably gonna judge him too. Guys and girls, fuck it, whatever. Go ahead. Like we're doing that knowing that's gonna happen. So if there's a guy out there teaching game, and his students can't do this, then I don't think he shouldn't be a coach or label himself a coach because his students should be a representation of his teachings. So I see in the future a revival of game and pickup and taking over the community because someone's got to teach this shit and no one else is doing it. AZD is the only one. I'm not doing it. I'm not even doing it. I'm not a teacher because I don't consider myself a teacher. I'm just a representation of what I've learned from the teacher. And I'm that until I'm that forever. I'll never be above the teacher, even though AZD said, like, I want someone to beat me. I'm like, bro, how the fuck is anyone here going to beat you? Like, how is anyone going to beat you? He's like, well, that's what I'm training you guys for. He's like, I'm training you to beat me. And in my mind, I'm like, fuck, that's like that's like all the way over there. How the fuck am I going to beat you? But, I don't even know if he's really saying it in that sense or if he's saying it like, man, I wonder if someone's really going to test me in this shit because if they are, I'm going to fuck you up. So I don't even know. I don't even know if he's being serious when he says that. But that's what I see is just a revival of pickup in game and we're the only ones that are doing it. So who else is going to revive it? No one. It would have to be us. So that's what I see.
All right, we're going to wrap it up, guys. What we have going on right now, I don't know what everybody's involved with. We have daily classes, $97 a month. That's with AZD. We have advanced camps. The new advanced camp is starting now. It's on early bird, $367 for guys that are not alumni of the previous camp. Guys that are alumni of the previous camp, it's extra discounted, like $307 or something. And that's advanced training. That's advanced mindset. That's game. That's what is it worth to go from being a virgin to getting with a 10? How many dollars is that worth? Maybe some of you guys, I'll bet most of you, if not all of you, are not virgins. So you're probably not a virgin, most likely. What would it be worth to get a 10? You might say, well, I'd never pay for that. Well, what if you live and die and never get a 10? Never hook up with a 10. Is that okay? Are you okay with that? If you are okay with that, then what are you learning game for? Or what are you interested in game for? If you're really being honest, don't answer because guys will lie. They don't want to admit that they want a 10. So what would it be worth? $5? $5,000? Not paying a girl to fuck her like a whore, but like paying to get better at life so that you can get a 10. That you know where to go to get a 10. You know how to talk to her. You know how to pull her into your life. You know how to make her desire to be with you. You know how to make her your woman. You know how to relate with her for the long term. A 10. Is that worth $50,000? Do you think, is it worth gambling so that maybe you'll figure it out on your own? You don't need to pay it. You want it, but you don't want to pay to get it. So you're going to figure it out on your own. Is it worth $500,000? I think it probably depends on what your income is. If you're making $1 million a year, it's probably worth more. If you're making $50,000 a year, it's probably worth less. But it doesn't have to be that way. Because the guy who's naturally good at fighting, he might want it less. The guy who's terrible at fighting, getting beaten up, he might want it a lot more. So that's like the guy who doesn't have a big income, but he may still want it more. You know what I mean? And so that's what this is. And it's a lot of invisible changes. You could change your hair and your clothes and your earrings and everything like that. But then there's a lot of invisible changes that have to take place. That's the inner game that AZD teaches. That's his forte, his line, his path. You know, what does it say? His lane. That's what I meant. His lane is inner game. But the results are better than all the guys teaching outer game. And all the guys teaching inner game. His results are just the best. And so maybe you think it's impossible for you. Again, it's not for you. It's for the guy who thinks it's possible for him. It's for the guy who sees it as valuable. And then it's just a matter of get on the path and start walking it. You're on the path, so to speak, because you're showing up to the stream or you're watching online, you're following these accounts. It starts somewhere. You had to discover AZD somewhere. But then now what? How long are you going to take it to that next level? That's what my 90-minute call with Tony last night was. How long are you going to take to get it to that level? Because you need this. This is needed. And so you could wait 10 years, 100 years, a lifetime, a year, a month, a week. And that was he hesitating to pull the trigger. Dude, start now. That's the same of, she's pretty, I want to go talk to her, but I'll do it tomorrow. She works there. I know I'll cross paths with her again next week when I have more money. Next week after I get a haircut. Next week after I start working out. Next week. No, now. Because you're in a delusion. You think you're going to be in a much better condition a week from now. You're not. You just might feel better about yourself, but that's what being in the game and being around a tribe reveals to us all, that we're not in a proper state of mind. We're dipping throughout the day a lot. And AZD can't dip because he's always around students. He's around us who he lives with. He's always around a girlfriend. He's always around people. To the point now where even in his lockdown, he has a girl who's a 10 living with him in his room for a week at a time. Not always, but there's no room for error.
Very true.
Year after year after year after year. So it's like that. It's as real as it gets. It's as legit as it gets. And you won't find another dating coach like that. So, you know, keep looking until you're certain of yourself or whatever. But even still, Tony was certain. Still took 90 minutes to make him certain enough to pull the trigger. Needed more certainty. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to say anything on that, Tony, before we end it?
I had to go to the room because my dad was calling me. He called me like 5 times. I didn't know if something was going on or anything. But anyways, I kind of lost flow of the conversation for a second. But
we gotta wrap it though.
Okay, so what was your question? I'm sorry.
No question. You had unmuted, so I was going to let you speak, but go ahead and mute, and we're going to wrap it. Guys, we're going to have another talk tomorrow. Yeah, so go ahead and mute, Tony. We're going to have another talk tomorrow at 2 p.m. with IMC Ambu. Another guy changed his life, moved across the country from Maryland to live in Los Angeles and then live in Vegas, and brought his girlfriend and everything. It's just like amazing. And I don't know if that was his girlfriend he brought in, but it could have been another girl. I don't know. He's a player too. So, and we don't lie, so the girlfriends know we're with other girls. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate everybody showing up, showing the support. Hopefully you got something from it. If you liked it, then tell a friend about IMC. Bring them to a class. 10 a.m. every day is class with AZD, Pacific time. And of course, I laid out, get more involved at the higher levels and stuff like DJ Side Effects. We got the next advanced camp. It's on Early Bird right now. You're alumni of the previous camp. Jump on it while it's still Early Bird. It's that energy, man. If you're in New Mexico and you're not around the tribe and you're lone wolfing out there, you need this energy to create that. You have the opportunity, DJ Side Effects, to be the leader of New Mexico for IMC Nation. Now we have 6 members of the daily class living in New Mexico. You have the opportunity to be the leader of that because you've been around more than anybody else. TL's been around, but online. You've been around in person more than him and more recently than him. You and him, maybe you co-lead or something, figure it out. You have different strengths, but you have an opportunity. And that'll take your game to the next level, leading other guys like that. So that's this energy. This is that energy. This, that, and this. Okay, everybody? Oh, thank you.
Oh, see you guys in the